Καλημέρα ή καλησπέρα στους φίλους που μας βλέπουν, όπως το λέμε πάντα ανάλογα πότε μας βλέπετε ή μας ακούτε. Έχουμε σήμερα την μεγάλη τιμή να έχουμε έναν παίχτη, έναν Αμερικανό παίχτη, ο οποίος δεν πέρασε ποτέ από την Ελλάδα, αλλά πάντα τον θεωρούσαμε έτσι είδωλο γιατί ήταν πάρα πολύ καλός παίχτης. Μιχάλη, πρώτα, καλησπέρα.
Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Έχουμε έναν παλιό παίχτη γνώριμο σε όλους τους Έλληνες από τις μεγάλες αναμετρήσεις με τις ελληνικές ομάδες, έτσι για να θυμούνται οι παλαιότεροι και να μαθαίνουν και οι νέοι, έτσι. Το Rashard Griffith. Good evening, Mr. Griffith. Good morning.
Good evening. Good morning. Good evening for y'all. Good morning for me.
Okay, so you are the first player. I begin with the first question directly. Okay. You are the first player who, in our podcast, who hasn't played in Greece. For a Greek team, I mean. Is that correct?
True.
Okay. Why was that? I mean, Greek teams were very rich and powerful back then, and you played in Italy, in Turkey, so you were around, but not in Greece. Did you have any offers back then?
What rubbed me the wrong way is PAOK. You remember PAOK?
Of course.
The team PAOK. They offered me a contract with a large sum of money. And I got ready to come to PAOK. And all of a sudden, the contract had changed within the midst of me coming. And people always had told me stories about them going to Greece and the team not giving them their money and if things didn't go the right way. And then I talked to Dominique Wilkins, what he did with Panathinaikos. So I was just like, you know what? I stay clear from Greece, because when that situation happened with PAOK, I was like, how you gonna change the contract in the middle of me coming? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That was in '97 because the coach of Maccabi Tel Aviv had recruited me to come there, and it was my third year.
Was that Svi Serf?
Huh?
Was that Svi Serf?
No.
I forgot his.
No, I don't think so.
I forgot his name.
No.
He was the former '97. He was the coach of Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Okay.
In '96. He left Maccabi Tel Aviv before the season started, and he went to PAOK, and he wanted me to come to PAOK with him. They offered me a contract, and then it changed in the midst of me getting ready to go to PAOK. So I went to Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Okay, I mean, these things know to happen or to have happened in Greece. So I think it's nothing new, unfortunately.
Πάμε Θανάση λίγο παλιότερα. So let's go back to the early years, back to the college. Wisconsin had at your years two excellent players, you and Mike Finley. Is right?
Yeah. Yes. True.
Okay. Mike Finley selected 15, 16 picks above you, I think, and made a great career. Well, you never went to play to Milwaukee. Who selected you?
I never went to Milwaukee because.
Why never played NBA?
Huh? I didn't hear the last part of your question.
He told that you didn't have the time maybe to show something in the NBA. Why did that happen?
No.
Why did you never play?
It was because of money. When I came over to Europe, I was 19 years old. I didn't turn 20. I turned 20 over there. By the time I was 21, I was already a multimillionaire. So that was 3 years, well, 2 years technically. And every time I went back to Milwaukee and negotiated a contract, they had my rights for 15 years. I went back to Milwaukee to negotiate a contract, and we never could come to terms on money. So because I got drafted in the second round, you automatically fall into this salary bracket. And they wanted to give me the minimum back then, I think, was $275,000, and I'm making $1.5 million a year
in Turkey.
And there was no me sitting up there taking that big pay cut after I established myself in Europe, I'm getting paid very well, and I'm taking care of my family. So the NBA is the NBA. I played against those guys every day when I worked out. I played against the Michael Jordans, the Kevin Garnett's, and Dwayne Wade's, and all those guys. And we Tim Grover. I don't even know if y'all know Tim Grover. Tim Grover, who was Michael Jordan's trainer, was my trainer since I was a junior in high school. Mm-hmm. So I played against these guys all the time. So it wasn't a question if I can play. It was a question of money. Did I want to take the risk on coming back to the United States, playing in the NBA, taking a significant salary cut and with no guarantees? Or do I stay over in Europe where I'm getting paid, I'm getting my money, and I'm happy? So I chose to stay in Europe.
Okay, and how did you reach to Bursa, to Tofas Bursa? I mean, did your manager make the arrangements? Who told you about this team?
Yeah, my manager made the arrangements. I was 19. It really didn't matter where I was going to go. And actually, the interesting thing about that is that it was the Milwaukee Bucks ideal for me to go overseas. I was 19. They said, let's go overseas for 2 years, play, develop, build your confidence, build your career, and then in 2 years come back. They had some older guys, Urban Johnson and Armand Gillian, that were playing position 5 for the Milwaukee Bucks at the time, and they wanted me to come back to be the core with Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, and Ben Baker. So I was going to be the position 5. But what happened was, once again, the money. Every time I went back, we talk, we negotiate. They say, well, we can't give you this much money. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'm going right back overseas. I went to the summer camps. I went to the vet camps, sat down, negotiations with them. Mike Dunleavy was the coach first, and it went from Mike Dunleavy to George Karl. So it was like in the midst of coaching changes and all this stuff, it always wound up being the same thing. Even if they would have gave me $1 million, the thing about it is that I still made more money overseas. And once I was able to take care of my family, my whole goal was to be able to take care of my family, to get us out of the poverty that I grew up in. So that was my whole goal. And I wasn't about to sit there and take a chance with no guarantees the NBA didn't want to give me. And I got the guarantees and the security from over here in Europe. So there was no problem with me staying over in Europe. And my agent found Tofas from a list of teams that the Milwaukee Bucks had gave them.
Okay. This is totally understandable. I mean, a basketball player has a career of maybe 15, 17 years maximum. So you have to earn your money until you can play. So it is totally understandable. Μιχάλη, πάμε παρακάτω, πάμε στον Άρη.
Πάμε στον Άρη, ναι. Okay. Let's go back in 1997 in the Korats final against Aris. You played against Aris.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the second game in Bursa. Give us a little bit of the atmosphere of the crowd in your stadium. How did you lose this match?
This is a great mystery for all Greeks till now.
Yeah. With such a fanatic crowd, a passionate feeling. How did you lose that?
Well, part of it was, the crowd was great. The team was great. What people don't know is, before we played the game in Greece, in Ares, I was in the hospital. That was my first game in 2 weeks. I hadn't practiced or played. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks with pneumonia.
Oh, okay.
I played, that was literally my first game in 2 weeks, was to get the first game in Greece against Ares. And the reason I played so well in that game is because they had, because of all the antibiotics I was receiving, and they gave me B12, what's called the B12 IV.
Vitamin.
Yeah, they gave me a bunch of vitamins before the game. That's why I was so hyped and so ready to go. The problem is that it's like when you drink coffee or you eat a lot of sugar. When you have it, you're high, but when you come down, you crash. So what happened was, when we got ready to play Ares for the second game, my muscle enzymes were -7. So I was literally at risk of hurting myself by playing in that game. So after that game, after we lost, they fired the team doctor because he wasn't on top of that. Because they were asking me what was wrong with me. I felt fine, but my mind felt fine, but my body was just like, hey, I'm not here. I don't have it. This, and that. And we went through that whole thing. So they kind of wanted to blame it on me because I didn't play the second game like I played the first game. So the doctor brought me to the hospital, did a bunch of blood work on me, and then came back and said that my muscle enzymes, I could have hurt myself really bad by being out there playing the game, period. And they fired him, and then because they blamed it on me, I got mad and I left. And then that's when I went to Tel Aviv. That's when I went to Maccabi in '97. And then the following year, you see they wanted me right back. And I went right back to Tofas after that. So
okay, and you go there for two more years.
Yes, 2 more years with David Rivers, and we started winning championships.
2 championships, back to back.
We won two playoff championships, 2 Turkish Cups, 1 President Cup. So yeah, we won a few championships. Yeah.
Mehmet Okur also played with you then.
Yes, he did.
He was young. Yes, and David Rivers, who is
my point guard.
Fan favorite. I guess you know that in Greece for Olympiacos, he won the first Euroleague for Olympiacos, and he was the MVP in the final for 1997.
Barcelona.
So yes, against Barcelona. So we still love him here. Okay, is Bursa your favorite city in Europe because you have stayed there the most?
I would say Bursa and Bologna.
Okay.
So those 2. So Turkey and Italy. I would say those are my 2 favorite places.
Okay. What are the differences? Because I want to ask you about Bologna and your Euroleague championship. But what are the differences between Bursa and Bologna? I mean, is it a Western city against an Eastern city, or is it more complicated?
No, it's not even complicated. It's not city against city. Tofas, Bursa will always be a special place in my heart because first and foremost, they gave me my opportunity as a 19-year-old kid to come over and play professional ball. I was able to take them. They believed enough in me to take them from not winning a championship to being dominant over FS Pilsen, European teams, and doing well for those 2 years I came back I was with David Rivers. Bologna, I got a chance to play with great players. Manu Ginobili, Marco Yarge, Antoine Rigaudot, David Anderson, Matthias Smodis. Yeah, Smodis. I got a chance to play with some great players and do something that too many people can say they can do. I was the only American on that team that won the European championship.
You had really European dream team.
And we won a EuroLeague championship. So that's going to always hold a special place in my heart. And both cities, I got treated like a king. I love the organizations. I love the atmosphere. I love the culture. I mean, so like I said, there's no putting one against there's no putting them against each other. It's just that both of them, Tofas gave me my beginning as far as like believing in me, and Kinder Bologna gave me my European beginning of me winning European championships and competing at the highest level.
When did you sense in Bologna? When did you sense that you have the best team in Europe? Because as I was watching the year in internet today, I saw that you only lost from AEK, I think, in 1 game in the regular season, and then you lost in the finals 2 games. All the other games were wins for you. So
talking about Bologna? Oh no, we after we lost, I think AEK was our first EuroLeague game.
And you lost it maybe in Athens.
We lost. Yeah, we lost.
Okay.
We lost our first EuroLeague game and our second Italian League game that year in 2000, 2001. And we sat down. Ettore Messina was our coach.
Yes.
And we sat down and he told everybody. I think we were disorganized. Everyone was trying to establish who was the alpha dog, who was the alpha male, and all this stuff. But then we came to realize that it's about winning. I had no problem because I was older with taking the back seat. I didn't have to score 20 points or 25 points a game or try to get my points and stuff like that. I asked Coach, what did he need me to do for us to win? He told me I needed to keep everybody organized, play tough defense, and, you know, give us scoring in the middle and rebound and stuff like that. So that's what I did. We established that Ginobili was our scorer. Then after that, it would probably be Marco. Then I can be third. Once we established that, everybody knew their roles. Then that's when we won all those games in a row, and we got to tie Victoria. And then what people don't know about that, remember, I didn't play the first game of the finals. The reason I didn't play the first game of the finals, I had just tore my meniscus 2 weeks before that. So I had surgery on my right knee 2 weeks before the final game. If you look back at the stats in the Italian league, you'll see that I didn't even play in the games leading up to the finals. So I literally had one practice before game one, the shooting practice of the day of the game. Then they told me the day of the game they couldn't let me play. Then I practiced the following day before game two, and then that was it. So we lost the first game by, I think, 20-something points at home. We come back, we win the second and the third game, lose the fourth game in Victoria, and then we come back to Kinder and win game 5.
Yes, yes. I see here that Victor Alexander, a player who is also very known in Greece, had 21 and 19 in the first game, and you didn't play, as you said. And then you got the first win. You had 9 points and 8 rebounds. So after that, it was better for you and your teams, of course. And in the last game, you won 82-74. Mm-hmm. They had Elmer Bennett, Laurent Fouaret, Tom Bergas, Oberto, Victor Alexander, Scola was young. A very good final, very strong final.
Ruben Volkovitsky.
Yes, yes. So after that, you play some more years in Europe. And what is your current involvement with basketball? Are you just a fan? Are you doing something professional?
Right now, nothing professional. Right now, I'm here. I'm back of course, at the University of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. I'm back here. I'm working with the university with the men's basketball team. Last year, we just won the Big Ten championship. We're getting ready to start the season tonight against Northern Illinois. And that's about it. I finished up my education. I got my degree. I just graduated this past May of 2020. So I'm doing that. I'm working with the community. You know, we're in a unknown season right now with COVID and everything that's going on in the world. And this is hitting everybody around the world. So I look forward to one day soon, once COVID lifts and we come up with a vaccine, to traveling back over to Europe, because one thing that I never got to do, because I was playing and practicing so much, I never got a chance to enjoy Greece. I never got a chance to enjoy Turkey and Italy, where I played at like I wanted to, like a vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Visit places, yes.
To go visit. I mean, literally, when I was even in Bologna where I lived at, it was like, because I always had something to do. We had practice. If it wasn't practice, you want to get rest because you got a game. So, like, if I brought one of my friends over, somebody came to visit me, they can go out and they can go shopping, they can go sightseeing. I haven't sightseen. I haven't did any of those things. So I want to go back and spend time sightseeing, vacationing with my family, with my children. I have 3 kids, so I want to go ahead and I want to do that. So and also if the push comes to shove, if I get offered like a coaching job or something over there while I'm over there, or anything like that, then I would think about taking it up and coming over there to coach, because I love Europe and I love those cities that I've been in, and I love the atmosphere. It fits me. I'm a laid back kind of person. I keep to myself, but I love to give back. I love to help people better themselves. whether it's basketball-wise or in life in general. I love to do those things and give back. So if I can do that, then I'm happy.
Okay, very well. Μιχάλη, πάμε να το ρωτήσουμε και 2-3 πραγματάκια για το NBA, γιατί αυτός στο Wisconsin είναι στο Milwaukee, δηλαδή είναι η πολιτεία που είναι το Milwaukee. Θέλω να το ρωτήσεις κάτι για το Γιάννη κτλ.
Όχι, θέλω να το ρωτήσω για το 2002. Ναι, because many years have passed since then. I want a spicy story from 2002, the day before the final with versus Panathinaikos. You were the big favorite in your city, in your stadium. You think did you underestimate them a bit?
Oh no. Panathinaikos had a great team. Bodaroga, they had a very good team. The problem was that we shot if you go back and look at the stats of that game, we shot a bunch of 3-point shots. We shot a lot of 3-point shots.
I mean, a young big man, Lazarus Papadopoulos, had a big game, and you certainly didn't expect it.
No. We knew he was we knew he was a good player. That was Panathinaikos. You don't make it to the European finals by not being a good team. It doesn't matter or having good players. So that wasn't. We didn't underestimate them coming into the game. They played a better game that day, and we didn't play our game. When we went back and we looked at why we lost, we looked at how many. I think we shot 30-something 3-point shots, and that was the most we shot during the season. We were a team that played inside out, and we didn't do that. Panathinaikos' goal was to take the ball out of my hands and let Ginobili and Marco and all of them do whatever they were going to do. So we chose to shoot 3-point shots, and unfortunately for us, they weren't going in. If they were going in, it's a different outcome. But we weren't making 3-point shots that day. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 36 3-point shots we had shot that game, or 32. And regardless, I don't think we made 30% of them. So by that happening and us getting away from our game plan, that's why we lost that game. And the big guy, he turned out to be a great player. They had, like I said, they had a bottom line, they had a good team. Bodaroga, I remember him from when he was at Barcelona, when he was at Panathinaikos. He's a legend in Europe. He's a great player. I forgot how many European championships he won. But we got away from our game plan in that game, and that's what cost us the game.
Okay, maybe the crowd pressure also played some role, because when you have to win in front of
No. I mean, we play in front of our crowd all the time. That wasn't. We knew the European Championship was coming there, and how can we sit there and say? How can we sit there and say anything? We had just won the European Championship the year before.
Yes.
In the same gym. You know what I'm saying? So that was no different. That was us not executing our game plan and what we talked about.
Okay. One last question, and we thank you very much for your participation in our podcast. Do you watch the NBA? I mean, okay, we're now in the off season. Do you root for the Milwaukee Bucks because it's where you live? I mean, in Wisconsin.
No, now I'm just a basketball fan, so I don't have a favorite team or per se favorite player. Back in the day, it was Michael Jordan, and then it went on from there. I loved Kobe. I love Shaq. So it's players that I love. But nowadays, I look at how everybody wants to go and form these super teams and do all this stuff or whatever. And to me, it takes away from the game. It only takes away from the game because I like the fact that you stay with a team, you make that team yours. I did that at Topos, if you think about it. My first 2 years at Topos, we made it to the playoffs, finished 4th, I think, the highest. And I went away for a year, come back, and now add a couple of pieces to the team, and now we're the champions of Turkey. You know what I'm saying? We were dominating a FS Pilsen team that was always good in Europe.
Yes.
We started beating them. And so I take pride in making something mine. Same thing with Wisconsin. I came to Wisconsin. They hadn't been to the NCAA tournament in 47 years. And what happened my first year, we go to the NCAA tournament. So I take pride in taking building from the ground up, building a strong foundation with a team as a player, and being part of something that's going to move forward and continue moving forward and have success. So I took pride in that. So the NBA, I love basketball. I love the NBA, the excitement. I'm proud of all the people, all the players that's playing in the NBA, because it's a great sacrifice to make it there. It's one thing to make it there, and it's another thing to stay there. Yes. So I watch the game. I'm a fan of the game. I'm a student of the game, and that's pretty much it as far as that go.
Okay. Μιχάλη, ρωτάμε κάτι άλλο ή τελειώσαμε?
Νομίζω είμαστε εντάξει.
Okay. Mr. Griffith, we thank you very much one more time.
Thanks.
You have been very polite, and it was an honor that you have been a part of our podcast. As children, we always admired you, and
thank you.
somehow hated you because you were a very good opponent. But I'm joking. Okay, but of course, a very good basketball player is always appreciated, even if he plays for the other team. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.